Hello, everybody.
Hey,
What's up?
everybody.
Hey.
People in the internet world that's up with us.
Mm-hmm.
How
At
you ladies
2
doing?
a.m.
We're great. It's great to see you three. It's always
Mm-hmm.
wonderful being hanging
I'm
with you
doing good,
guys.
thank you. Real good.
Good.
Yeah, I realize I have no red and all of my green shirts are dirty, so we get thunderstorms.
You have villain, Disney villains.
I have
Y'all look
Well,
bells.
very nice. Y'all do. Y'all look like it's not 3 in the morning. This is great. I'm
I
the only
have
one
my
who looks
evil
like it's
queen.
the middle of the night.
No, not
Oh,
really.
See, I'll make it
well,
up for you guys. I have a Christmas tree on.
okay.
Let's go. Very
Well,
festive.
I do have my. I have a mermaid stocking,
Hey, that
so
works.
That'll work.
that's about the funny thing is the last couple of years I was with my ex-husband. He had told me he's like, well, I want to decorate for Christmas. I'm like, if you want to decorate for Christmas, go for it. I'm not doing it. Like, I'm done, because for years I was the person who would get up in the attic and get all the stuff down and then have to box everything up and no, I'm done. Like, first year was just me and him. I was done. Um, and then he basically got kind of pissy because he's like, you need to do something. So I stuck up this stocking with a note that said, this is the extent of my Christmas spirit.
I used to do
Yeah.
all that stuff when my kids were younger, but they're grown now doing all that
Mm-mm.
stuff. They can do
Yeah.
I'll
what they
never
want to have it
forget
done.
when my last one moved out. That next Christmas, the Grinch Who Stole Christmas came out, and the song "Where Are You Christmas." I must
Mm-hmm.
have cried the whole Christmas because I didn't put up a tree, nothing. It was like, my gosh, the kids are all gone. And then I realized that I enjoy trees and lights and doing that stuff. So I'm like, I'm only singing Where Are You Christmas 1 year. That song makes me cry every time I hear it.
Oh my god. Yeah,
It's like, done.
honestly, like, it's one of those that
It's too much
I
fun.
love Christmas, but it kind of got ruined for me because
Hmm.
okay, so I'm an only child. My parents gave me everything I ever wanted. And then I have two kids who are 2 years apart. And so I think what actually broke me one year was one of them was, I want to say 12, and I think he got a phone, and the 10-year-old pitched a fit that he didn't get a phone. He got a bike instead.
Oh,
And I was just like, I'm done. I'm done with the Christmas
oh
thing.
wow.
That's tough.
Well,
Yeah.
It is tough
we're not
because
going to talk about my worst
because
Christmas.
yeah, because all of us know that there's some years that you make the mark with your kids, and then there's
Yeah.
some years that's kind of like, uh.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That
Sorry,
was one
guys.
of
I
these
did not
years
have
for
that
me,
up.
but it was my grandbaby. She sent me a
Hmm.
pair of shoes I thought she wanted, so I bought them. But they were Nikes, not Jordans, and I didn't pay attention.
Oh.
Oh, I have done that kind of stuff too. And you feel bad because you try really hard to give them what they
Uh-huh.
want and you screw it up.
Right.
Yeah.
It sucks. It does.
And,
It's a
Jester
parenting
said
fail.
they want a bike. They would have took the bike.
I mean, she's
and then,
okay because we'll go back to the store and she'll get what she wants. But
Exchange
I
them, right?
felt
Yeah, keep the receipts. Always keep the receipts.
hmm yeah,
right.
at this point, I'm kind of the opinion of I just give my kids money. And I'm like, here, you
Yeah,
guys go
Right.
get what you want. Because, I mean, and
I
I
don't.
get
Right.
it. Like, I'm,
I don't know about you, but it's like you put all that work into putting up a tree, and the bigger they get, the littler the gifts are under the tree,
Hmm.
but the bigger the prices are.
Oh
So there,
yeah.
mhm,
if you have three, so there may just be three things, and you're like, oh my god, but it costs this much money.
Hmm.
But
yeah.
they wanted the newest PlayStation that was out. So I think my daughter was a 4 when I got my youngest
Hmm.
one. It was a 4. So that's all you're
Mhm.
getting. And a couple
Right.
games. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, my two
Yeah.
oldest this year, they're definitely not watching it this hour. So they have concert tickets.
Oh,
Those
nice.
get pricey
Perfect.
real fast, right?
Real
So
fast.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
my,
that's what they want.
my
What a
youngest,
concert, may I
Well,
ask?
then I'm really gonna spoil it if they see this video tomorrow.
Oh, let me shut up.
Oh yeah.
But it's already Christmas though.
It is. That's true. We're actually going to see Evanescence because I grew up listening to Evanescence.
Oh, Spirit.
Ooh, when are they coming? Are they coming to Detroit? We
Yes,
need to
ma'am,
go.
they are.
We need to go. We need to go.
They are.
I'm
They
no,
are.
I'm going to. Where at?
Which stop?
One?
I'd be going to
I
probably
think
Charlotte.
Arkansas. I think
Oh,
Arkansas.
yeah.
I will find a way to get to Charlotte. I
live in
love
North
them.
Texas. Yeah, I live
So here's
in,
a life. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
sorry, I live in Northeast Texas, so it's like whatever is closest.
Right.
In essence,
Well,
like I want to go.
Here's a little thing I did since I was short on money this year and I wanted to do something, that they wanted. The concert's not till June, so I've basically written them a note and got them a shirt that said, will you go to a concert with me? So
August 2nd, Jazzy.
Okay, so I think ours is in June, some point in June in Charlotte. But yeah, it gives you a little bit of time. I guess it's a little late for people watching now to do this, but I thought this through about a week ago. I'm like, you know what? I can save some money and still have a good time, and then it still plays out really well on Christmas morning. So that's the play. But yeah, it is more expensive, and as they get older, it's more sort of a hassle to make sure it's right and all this stuff. But the memories that you make with the things like this, for me as a dad, I love this kind of stuff. So I'm more excited than I'm sure they'll be when they find out. So
that's priceless.
They're gonna be at Pine Knob, August the 2nd.
Ooh, you want to go?
I surely do.
And the thing is, my son's like, nah, I don't really care about Evanescence. He wants to go see Spirit Box. That's who
I'm
he's
Evanescence. I'm Amy Lee.
Absolutely.
I'm like, dude, like I grew up on Evanescence, so I don't mind going to see them.
Do you know what my first
I was already
was?
grown.
Do you know what my first concert I ever went to? Because if you know my backstory, was the Spice Girls.
Oh my no!
And I only went to that because it
was New Edition.
No, my daughter wanted to see them really bad, and I realized I had never been to a concert, so I was like, okay. So we did mother-daughter tickets, and I was like, oh my God, what did I just come see?
Oh my God.
She loved it. I got into it.
That being your first experience for live music, though, I feel like you got shorted. I'm sorry. I feel like we should do it over.
Definitely. And then my second one that I went to was Kelly Clarkson. She came here after she won American Idol. So Detroit was one of her first stops before going international. So she came here on her last place before she went overseas for the first time. So that when I look back at that was with was his name Jesse when she was singing with him?
Oh, I mean, yeah, because he was like the runner-up, I think, or something.
Yeah,
like that.
The runner-up. So it was him and her in a concert.
Yeah.
Was it Clay? Was it not Clay Aiken, or did he win a different season?
So he won with Ruben Studdard.
Ruben Studdard.
Right, Ruben Studdard. Yeah.
The one I'm talking about was a really good-looking guy.
Yeah, like curly hair.
With curly hair, light skin.
Oh, who
I'll tell you who I did like. What was that country guy? I liked him.
I didn't even know he was still around. But last year I went to a concert and Daughtry was there.
That's what
I saw last year too. Oh my God, it was amazing.
Kiss Daughtry. Yeah, I like him too.
Well, who did he? Yes, and Stain.
I left after about 3 Breaking Benjamin songs because they said pro-Trump crap. And I was just like, fuck this.
Oh, wow.
Did they really?
Yes.
They did not say that in Charlotte because I would have definitely taken notice to that. But I was at that tour and it was amazing. Chris Daughtry shocked me because I did not realize he rocked the way that he does.
I was nearly left after Stained.
Isn't he from...
but here's the thing. That when I went, it was the day before it was either the day of or the day before the election. It was like
I went in September.
Yeah,
was end of
I went
September,
literally the
so-
day of the election, so it
Well,
kind of makes sense that they would say
You
something.
know,
right.
you know who
But-
I saw
Especially
the
Aaron
day
Lewis.
before. The day before election, the concert I was sitting in was
Mhm.
Bon Jovi's, because it was the last stop, the last election, like promo
Mhm.
with Waltz. So I was there for Bon Jovi to sing. So it was cool.
Nice.
I would love to see Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Oh, he does a
Bon
good
Jovi is
concert.
awesome.
And you know what's
Who-
nice about Bon Jovi is that he crosses all generations. When you go to his
Yeah.
concerts,
Yeah.
you'll see people there, young girls and guys, 12 years old, 15 years old, and then you see them like young adults, middle age, my age, and then you see them old.
That's how I was
and it's
raised
like,
off of them.
rock on.
Yeah.
That's how I was raised.
Right.
It is weird to be taking my 15 and 14-year-old daughters to see someone that I was listening to when I was essentially the same age, a couple years older, but it's wild. You get a 20th year anniversary release of the Fallen record, and then they say, hey, we're putting out a new album in 2026. We're coming to Charlotte, and it's like this
Mhm.
time warp. And
Yeah,
I get
they
to
were
take
all-
my
I was
kids
already
there, which is
grown
it's
when
just
they
a
was-
wild experience. Really crazy.
I was a young adult, but I was already grown when they was out. But still.
And a lot
it
of
was-
times, like with Bon Jovi, I knew all of his older songs, right? So then, I mean, I know some of his younger songs, but not like quite as by heart as the older
Yeah.
songs. But then the young people in the crowd were
Wanted
singing
Dead
all
or
the
Alive.
Mhm.
They were singing all the young songs, and I was like, "Wow, this is."
I
a
don't know
big
those
crowd.
songs. Who those songs are? Those songs?
And can I tell you a secret for concerts?
Mm.
With Bon Jovi, he was selling out, and I could have seats all the way in the nosebleed because he was completely sold out. Or I could have seats right behind the stage that were like front aisle seats if I was in front of the stage. But people don't know that all the concerts play to the back of the stage. It was, and then you get to see everybody and
Mhm.
interact, and you know when they're changing sets or doing something, the guys that are in the band and stuff, they're talking to the
Yeah.
people on the backstage. It was so much fun. So I always
Absolute,
look for backstage tickets.
the absolute coolest coolest band I've ever met, hands down. Well, one of two of them is Rammstein. Coolest band ever. They're super super nice too. The best
I'm not familiar.
backstage. You don't know Rammstein?
No, I don't. Sorry.
They're a German band.
I am Generation X. Okay.
They're German and they're heavy, so
Mhm.
Oh,
it's
okay.
not
Okay.
everyone's thing. And
It's not
it's not
everyone's
English,
thing,
so.
but it's
Right.
Okay.
They do rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're super super nice, and they were a little bit surprised that I spoke German. but that was cool. And then coolest band that I ever got to go backstage with was Typo Negative. If you know who those
Wow.
are. Yeah.
I remember
they
the
were-
name, but they were
Peter Steele, they do Black Number One, huge ass guys, all goth band, like goth industrial rock. They were. It's one of those bands that if you know them, you know them. They had a concert in Dallas. Me and my ex-husband went, and they almost didn't let us in because he had a dog collar on that had spikes and stuff on it. And he's like, dude, like, we're not gonna do anything. This is not like a mosh pit type band. And anyway, the drummer came out of their tour bus, saw us, told somebody, and then they came and grabbed us and took us backstage because we were like the only people who were like decked out in our goth stuff because we were going to go to the concert and then go to the club afterwards.
That's cool.
So-
And when I say backstage, I'm talking about sitting in the concert behind the stage, not actually going to their backstage. Just for clarification.
Yeah, concerts are the first one I took my youngest son to was the Breaking Benjamin concert like 2 years ago. And he loved it. So it just became a thing that we go to Breaking Benjamin concerts. I might give them another shot, but
they're great live.
Ben always kind of struck me as not that intelligent. Like he can write, but
I don't
We'll
know
see.
if I would say that. I feel like a lot of people, especially around that time, were sort of picking sides with the election stuff. They're touring with Stained, and Aaron Lewis is unfortunately up Trump's butt real far. You know, I've actually stopped supporting him. I used to love the dude, but
same here.
that I think it's sort of kind of spider webbing out at that stage, and maybe there was some pressure on top of him maybe not being as educated.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too where like okay, so for most people on my channel know, but for anybody who doesn't, I'm the Lilith behind Secular Talk, Kyle Kalinske. I'm that Lilith. So I do a whole bunch of behind the scenes stuff for him, which means I am neck deep in politics all day, every day, pretty much. So I was just like, okay, and it's one of those things that it was disconcerting to see how many people who were not that well educated falling into this crap, and then having to like, now it's just like seeing them be like, oh well, like that's just kind of messed up, like I'm not going to support that. It's like, dude, you voted for it, like sorry, like I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for you. You voted for it,
right?
This is what you voted for. He literally said every single damn thing he was going to do. The only thing he's ever like been able, that I've seen him come out and say, we are going to do this, especially on the bad stuff. The only thing that I've ever seen, and this is why I'm hardcore on the Epstein files, is the one thing he has never been able to shake. Every other controversy, he has been able to get out of the news cycle within a week. He cannot shake the Epstein files. He has tried, and he can't do it.
Right.
He's been trying for over a year. So I think that's going to be his downfall.
Can someone help me catch up? Because I read something that maybe some of the redactions were able to be removed. Is that fact check true? Because nowadays you don't even know. Okay.
Yes.
If that is true.
They took down that version of the files and put up a one where the redactions were done correctly. The thing is,
late for that, but okay.
Yeah, like you've got to understand,
because if you have the before and after,
it's worse, right? It's more cover up. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Continue. I'm sorry.
But then it's more obvious
you're fine.
too.
Oh,
and it's more obvious because you're looking at everything black, and now you have everything that's printed, and you're like, wow, that's what they were redacting.
Yeah, they highlighted it for us.
Yeah, there was a whole lot.
I was looking at something, but I can't even go through all that. I was like, somebody go through it for me, please.
I tend to get the overview version, so I am not going through the files myself because there are certain things I just don't. Sorry, my dog was whining.
What's wrong? Is that my
That's
favorite?
Totally understandable.
I think it was Pixie whining. I can't tell. They're all like, so I've got this bench, and they all decided to hide out under the bench because I have stuff spread out all over my bench. What are you doing? Oh, it is Kip.
I didn't know it was all my homegirl.
Oh my god, she's being so loud. But yeah, I'm trying to kind of keep the 30,000 foot view on.
I don't understand people though.
Yeah.
When it comes to him.
I know for me is that those girls, I was raised in West Palm Beach, and I lived, like I could walk over the bridge of the Intercoastal to Mar-a-Lago, and the high schools and the yearbooks that I have are with the girls in them. They're from my local, if it's not from my school that I went to high school in, it's from the local, one of our local high schools that are like 5 miles away from where I grew up.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It is. Yeah. It is. And when you realize that you were so close to all of that.
Yeah, no,
It's
it's
there's like no way to wrap your brain around the
yeah.
amount of damage that they've done to the
And
girls, but the
yeah.
amount that the fact that they won't take accountability and that they sit in
Mhm.
power, and
Hopefully.
that's why all abusers feel that they have the right off
Mhm.
when it comes to that. You know, you go to the police and they're like, "Oh, okay. So tell us
Mhm.
exactly what happened. Like, are you sure that's what happened?
Mhm.
What were you
Yeah.
wearing? What did you say to them?
Yeah.
What were you doing?" "I don't know. I was a Pentecostal girl. My ankles were covered, my wrists were covered, and my collarbones were covered. I'm not sure if what I
Mm,
had on caused them to do that."
yeah.
Really?
It's just like, yeah, it's absurd. Like, uh and yeah,
And
it
then the
all goes
general
back to
feeling of
yeah.
Christian men are, well, he asked for forgiveness, not him, but in general of people who commit these hor- awful things, right?
Mhm.
They're like, well, they've asked for forgiveness. Anything else is between them and God. What?
No, it's not.
Exactly right.
No.
That's what we were taught.
You're sitting
Yeah.
in the pews with them still to this day. I understand, but he stood up and asked for forgiveness, and that
He's
is
been
what I'm
forgiven,
required
right?
to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
It's
But then
really
the
Yeah.
good.
same,
That's exactly how it was in my church too
Yeah,
growing up.
yeah.
mine too. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I went back in August after 30 years, right? I asked that very question to two of my siblings that would see me. The other ones I haven't seen ever. And when I asked him that, right? He said, well, they all ask for forgiveness and then they have to answer to God. And we were talking, and he looked at me. He goes, I'm not quite sure why you would come back to the church of your childhood. I'm like, the cult of my childhood. He said, because when you come here, you desecrate my holy ground. That is a direct quote. I said, I desecrated your
Wow.
holy ground by just coming back and looking at everybody from the back of the church. But there's at least 30 abusers sitting
Oh
inside
god.
this sanctuary right now. And that's
Mhm.
okay. And he said, they're forgiven. You're not.
Fuck him.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, you have a sister
Yep.
right here on screen, so just know
I
that.
have more sisters than brothers on this screen, and it doesn't matter at all. But I'm just saying that
Mm.
that philosophy and that ideology and that rhetoric, it is what's being
Yes.
pumped into independent evangelical
Yeah.
non-denominational churches
Mhm.
today.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. And then the result of that is I'm taught it as a kid. And then I get married at 19 and she's
Mhm.
21 because you can't have sex outside of marriage. It's the worst thing you could possibly do ever. So
Right.
we're not, we don't want to get
Mm.
caught having sex because it's not that we weren't doing it like everyone else, but we were doing the purity culture thing. So we couldn't, it was all,
Yeah.
so let's get married. Right. And then you rush right into 5 kids in 7 years.
Mhm.
And you are now teaching them from birth what you've been taught, but what your parents or their grandparents are still teaching them as well. So they're getting
Mm-hmm.
double dosed, and it's like it's
Yeah.
intensifying the indoctrination because it's just constant from
Mhm.
birth, and it's just more frequent. So
And
what
I
we can
agree with
do,
you.
what brings me hope now, especially since I found this community with
Mhm.
other people who share these experiences, is I've been open and honest about it with my kids, with the internet, with anybody that I can, hoping that somebody will find my story that has come from or is getting ready to come out of the same situation.
Yeah.
And in that process, this rapid indoctrination of this stuff is kind of coming undone with some of my older kids. So for me, with my older kids kind of starting to ask some questions and just seeing through some stuff, not abandoning, Christianity as a whole, but seeing through the toxic parts that we all can agree are just garbage. The anti-LGBT stuff, the pro-Israel anti-Palestine nonsense, that's melting away, and that's a good thing. So I say that and tell that little bit of a backstory because I hear what you're saying, but I feel like there's some hope right now because there's a lot of us talking and a lot of us are connecting with people, and that gives me a little hope in spite of all this. So,
I mean, you would be amazed at how many people that I talk to on a pretty regular basis that have like outright told me they're like, dude, watching Kyle, who is secular talk, but watching Kyle has basically changed their mind on stuff and pulled them back from like the from like the right wing pipeline that they were getting ready to go down.
right.
And like it's one of those things that it's because we'll get people we'll get
I'm so
people
sorry.
in the server who are still very we'll get some in there that are super conservative, and it's always one of those things that it's like, okay, are you trying to get your way out of this and trying to learn, or are you just here to be a jerk?
Right.
And it's still even surprising my mods on there on how fast I can figure out which is which. Because if they are genuinely there because they want to figure out what's going on, I will give them a little bit of grace because I rather have us help pull someone out of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the more of us out there, the better. Because, I went through this 6 years ago and there was nowhere near the content. And, that's why, being able to start interacting with some of these content creators that I have watched since I deconstructed and leaned on and, understood it wasn't just me, but it was just this few, group of people. And now look at the content creators we've got today and how it's growing. The more we have and the more stories, I think it is connecting with people, and the genuine people show up and they're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I need help. Like, help point me in the right direction. And that's how you recognize,
Exactly. And whenever I first left, when I escaped 27 years ago, right? There was nobody. I didn't even start speaking out until 5 years ago, whenever I discovered TikTok because of COVID, and then came on and I started listening to other individuals who were in the exact faith that I was in. And I was like, oh my God, I thought nobody was allowed to talk about this because, we're taught to. And I'm like, oh my God, they have taught me to be quiet after 27 years. I have maintained and protected their rhetoric and their behaviors and their absolute abuse of power, of people, places, of everything, of women's autonomy, and I've been a part of. So then when I started like speaking out, it's so many times you get the individuals that are disingenuous, but then I have to stop and say, are you really asking those questions? Because there was once upon a time I would ask questions and I would be like, I hope nobody's going to judge me. I'm just trying to sort these two sides through my brain. Like I have my indoctrinated brain, right? And then I have, this other side that kind of clash with each other, and they don't kind of like, they want to live independently within me. And somehow or another, I want to get rid of all of it, right? Because I'm like, just get rid of it. But I realize that when you are truly indoctrinated, you have to come to a point that you become comfortable with the fact that that is not going to leave overnight.
Purple!
That it is just that within time you'll get less and less to where you talk like hi, like
What's
an
up?
indoctrinated church girl, and then you start actually, the more you speak as an independent feral atheist woman, right? The less I speak as a independent as an indoctrinated church girl.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, to this day, where I live, I know 2 atheists in this town. Myself and my son.
Wow.
I don't know anybody else. my
Well, I'm
like
glad I
my
know
mom,
you, Jazz.
it's just
Yay!
like, yeah, it's like it's one of those things that it's still a little disconcerting, and I'm pretty sure, knowing what I know from other people, there's several who I there are several people that I know out there who probably are, but just in the environment we're in, like nobody talks about. But here's the one that does give me a little bit of hope. One is, starting out at the beginning of this year, there were Trump flags, Trump stickers, all that crap all over the place. There are
Yep.
none now. None.
I love
Every
it.
single, yeah.
You know,
And
this is
I love it.
continue.
And it's, yeah, no, I was just like, I love it too, because I'm like, okay, this stuff's finally dropping off. But then I'll get someone who was, let's just say, a little bit of a jerk around the election, and they're like, "Oh, I can't buy this because the tariffs are too high," and I'm like, "Not my problem, dude.
Right.
You voted for
Yep.
this."
I'll never forget when I just a couple of years ago I moved where I'm at now, and I have bumper stickers. I've gone and seen
Hmm.
Karen Carpenter a couple of times, and her bumper sticker and her little phrases is that everybody goes to hell in somebody else's religion.
Oh, yeah,
So
Hmm.
that's yeah, so
Right.
that's on the
Very
back of
true.
my car, and the other
Oh,
one is from God Awful Movies. I went and saw them in live, and they
Hmm.
do one that says prayers are never answered. So that's on the back of my car as well.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
was in a grocery store, but it is a very more rural area, so there's more Trumpers than there are the likes of me and my
yeah.
area.
As soon as
Yeah.
you cross 8 Mile, it's Trumpers.
Right. And then the there was two older people at the back of my car talking as I was coming out of the grocery store. And you know how you're walking up and you're like, wow, what are they doing in the back of your car? Oh my goodness, they were pissed because of my bumper stickers. And when I walked up to them, I was like, is there a problem? They started attacking me. I'm like, this would never happen in Detroit. I need to move back to Detroit. And it's only, what, 20 minutes away? And I'm like, this
Yeah.
is ridiculous. I've just been
I don't know.
confronted.
They would some of them. I don't
Holy
know. They would say
cow.
something too about that because they are really religious in Detroit.
Well, yeah, but oh my goodness, I've never been confronted over a bumper sticker on my car.
Yeah.
It's
Because I
wild.
had
yeah.
my coworker that basically started yelling at me. That's what I didn't believe.
Well, that's when I moved here. It's over 5 years ago now. But like the whole place, it's like every lawn had a Trump sign. So yeah, I just decided it was going to be best not to put anything on my vehicle that had
Hmm.
anything to do with religion or politics because I was afraid somebody would smash my window in for it.
Oop.
Yep.
That's
I'm
messed
the
up.
exact same way.
You keep getting booted out.
I have no idea. My hands are right here. It says I lost connection. I'm like, how can I lose
Oh
connection?
no.
I am really close
Well,
to
you're
Canada
in.
up here, to
Can't
Canada's
hush.
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
yeah. I'm not too far either.
Yeah, but
But you're from Port.
maybe you have more
You,
traffic.
you- you're
When in doubt, you can
you're
blame my
from the
dog.
Port Huron.
My dog is awfully opinionated.
How
She
far are
likes
you
picking
from
people.
Port Huron? You can't be too far,
Um,
huh?
yeah, I'm like maybe 10 minutes from Port Huron, but
Okay,
if you
yeah. So you're
but
from
because of the way
Blue Water Bridge.
yes, but you know what the way the Detroit River is?
Yeah.
So I'm at the top of where it goes into Lake Huron. So I
Okay.
instantly pick up Canada's, not from Port Huron, but from the other way.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
somebody actually took my idea and it worked. I had been joking for years that if somebody would give me sanctuary in Canada, I'd row a canoe across Lake Superior. There actually was
Oh.
a guy who rode a kayak across the Detroit River into Canada. And he pulled the canoe up on shore, and he just walked a bit until he found a Tim Hortons. And he just sat in there having a donut until a police officer came in. And he went up to the
That's
police
awesome.
officer and asked for sanctuary. And the government's response up there is, we don't know what to do about this, so we're going to give you a 2-year visa while we figure it out.
Are you serious? I'm about to
No,
get out the new.
Life hack.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Let's
I'll be
go.
Are y'all ready to get a?
But
Are y'all ready to get a boat together? And
When
do
we
that?
leaving?
Yeah.
When we leaving?
yeah, but the thing is,
Well,
to
I
cross the
already have
Detroit
sanctuary
River-
because I am marrying Jess. Actually,
Yes.
so I already got my sanctuary. If we're marrying
Oh,
Jess,
Is that an official thing now?
I just said that. I don't know anybody else can join in.
I don't know.
She
She said
said me and
me,
Amber
damn
can marry her so we can be sanctuary.
Breaking
but Kelly,
news.
the Detroit
You heard it here
River,
first.
yeah, the Detroit River is really easy to cross.
Yeah.
You know, if you go from
I'm just
from
saying.
Detroit to Belle Isle and then Belle Isle to Canada,
Yeah.
But why even do all that? Let's get married and just
that's much
get
easier way.
get that way. Yeah, easier
It's more
way.
permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's something. So okay, there's one Christmas tradition that I wanted to mention just because it is crazy and I absolutely love it. What would you? Okay, so you know how we do like turkey or ham or whatever for our traditional Christmas dinner? You know what
Yeah.
they do in Japan?
You know
KFC.
when they have KFC, right?
Yeah, KFC. They do
Yeah.
KFC.
I learned that on Good Mythical Morning. I learned that there. I know it's crazy.
Can I tell you guys
Yeah,
something?
there's a couple.
KFC tastes so much better than dried ham or turkey.
My turkey
Well,
don't be dry. I'll just tell you
our
that.
ham's good. Our
Kelly,
ham's
I knew you were
really
going to
good.
say that. You go to Honey Baked Ham if you want a good ham or turkey.
No, I make
Yeah.
my own. I usually smoke mine on the smoker.
I know you do, but that's why I was teasing. I was like, I have to go buy one.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I bought the ham last. It was like $130. I get that for a ham, half a ham. That's
Oh,
some bullshit.
I
For a
I did
ham?
I cooked the whole turkey for Yule.
Ugh.
Of course, now I've got to figure out what to do with all of it. So I've been breaking it down and freezing part of it, but
Mhm.
it's like they had it on sale for 69 cents a pound. With the price of any other meat these days, I couldn't pass that up.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't blame you.
You know, I mean, even to just buy chicken breasts are like $3-4 a pound now.
Mm-hmm.
See, my
I wish
favorite
my
meal is
other
New
cat-
Year's Eve. It's black-eyed peas and
Yeah.
okra
Oh,
with
you the
cornbread.
soul. Got that soul. I got that soul dinner.
Well,
You
I
do
grew
not
up in
though.
I grew up in a predominantly Jewish neighborhood, and so their traditional Christmas dinner is always Chinese takeout
Right, right.
because
Makes
the
sense.
Asians were the only place that opened their businesses on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Same
later
here.
today, Kelly. It's Chinese
Yeah.
dinner.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had
Yeah.
Chinese dinner. Yeah, sushi. That's our Christmas dinner. Sushi
Mhm.
tonight.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know what I'm not entirely sure what we're doing tomorrow. Because like my mom, who is usually the one who handles most of the cooking, because she's way better at it than pretty much anybody else. She hasn't felt real good the last few weeks, like she's been sick, and so she's like, oh, I don't feel like cooking. But she didn't plus this until like yesterday, and so now we're all like, what are we gonna do now? So I'm just like, yeah, you know what, we'll figure it out. I'm not worried about it.
Even though my
I have a
family's mad that I'm not going with them tomorrow.
I have a really weird family tradition that y'all are
Yeah.
gonna get a kick out of. Every year we would bake Jesus a birthday cake on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I know somebody who did that too.
Did you? No way.
I
Okay.
but I know
It
somebody
may
who
have been
did.
more. It may have been more widespread than I thought. I thought surely no one else does this. Baked him a
I didn't do it.
So my mom gets the bright idea to decorate the cake with little plastic figurines. Okay, they're not edible, they're plastic. Okay, but we do the little nativity and light the little candles and sing to Jesus. Not weird at all. On
I can see
Christmas
where this
Eve instead of doing like family things. But anyway, we're baking the cake to Jesus, then we decorate it with the plastic figurines. Well, the sheep, this is the 90s, okay, the mid 90s. The little plastic sheep are white. Well, the icing on the cake is white. So the
Oh
sheep
no.
consumed,
Oh
right?
no, I knew it.
Bite into them, feel like you break your teeth, you're biting into plastic all of a sudden. We also later on started baking him a pizza because obviously we had to eat something. So we'll dedicate the pizza to Jesus as well. So the Jesus pizza that went with the cake, we forgot about it
Yeah,
one year.
pizza party for
And,
Jesus.
and it went off about 20 minutes overcooked and set the whole friggin' thing on fire. It nearly started a fire in the house and it was burnt to a crisp. And then my mom tried to scrape it together and we were going to salvage it. And it was like, nope. But all of this was Jesus's like birthday celebration that we would do every year on the 24th, to celebrate it. And it was like, looking back on it, super weird, the whole thing. But yeah, that was pretty comical to me. We were eating plastic and it was good and was not even questioned because we had to do the nativity on the cake. Help me.
Jesus' birthday.
Fundamentalist stuff, that has to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Has to be.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone else has experienced that, please tell me in the chat or leave a comment because I feel like I'm the only person in the world who did that, and it was super weird. So let me know if
No,
you
but
can relate.
I know somebody who did.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
crazy.
Jester, I will forgive you. Maybe.
Well,
can
will you
always
come back
rewind.
and watch it later?
Well,
Rewind it.
I
That's
think
the point.
As
everybody
long as
knows
you
that,
like it before you leave.
I
Right.
think everybody knows that this is not actually Jesus's birthday.
No.
That was like
It
April.
We
Yeah, well-
believe, yeah.
Back in I think it was like 1985, they gathered together, this huge bunch of Bible scholars for a 3-day conference to go through all of the hints in Scripture to figure out when Jesus' birthday actually was. And after 3 days of going over all the Scripture and debating it, they proudly announced that they knew that for certain Jesus' birthday was March 28th in the year 4.
That's what I was saying, like April. Yeah, that seemed more. But that's what you were saying earlier, Purple, that it makes sense. It will be reversed.
Well, I mean, the Bible talks about, the shepherds watching their flocks by night, and they only do that during the lambing season in case one of the sheep go into labor.
Mm-hmm.
So that has to be in the spring when the new lambs are being born.
Yeah, it amazes me how few Christians actually read their book and pay attention to it.
Well,
like,
and
it's not hard. Like, it astonishes me. Even though I've been atheist for 20 years now, I still know the Bible better than they do.
and if Jesus's parents were born in Bethlehem,
Mm-hmm.
If he was from that region, you can guess what he would have really looked like. Do you think he could get through any U.S. airport today?
No
Nope.
kidding.
Because he
Remember
was
when
not blonde hair and blue eyed. I know that.
Yeah. No, they would have freaked the fuck out about it. I saw a thing, somebody had posted it in the server that somebody who was somebody who was doing like a sermon or something said something about Bethlehem and Bethlehem, Palestine, because that's where Bethlehem is. It is in Palestine, and like half the church got up and left. And it's like, oh my gosh, guys, you guys are stupid. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you don't know your own book. You don't know anything about history, the way the world is, like where things are. Just none of it.
Well, geography is horrible. I actually had a meme I made that is actually a blank map of Europe, and I just put the text over it that most Americans can't identify their own state on a blank map.
I can't mind.
Yeah.
Right.
I
A good
can't.
thing.
But then again, I live in Texas.
Yeah,
so.
yours have a certain way to look, but yeah,
Ours
that's all
is
you
a
gotta
mitten.
do. This is it. I know mine. Here we
Mine's
go.
easy.
Here you go,
just
like
find where the great,
Michiganders
mine's
and
easy. You just
Michiganders
find
do
where the
this.
Great Lakes end,
We live
and
here.
you take one step down from Canada.
Yeah.
It amazes me the other day. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound
Okay.
fine.
Okay, so the other day I was doing a live and our topic was tell us why your belief is a good belief. What is it about your belief that is good? We had a Christian come on and he said he was like he went to ask us a question and he goes, "Well, let me just make sure everybody knows." He's like, "I don't know my Bible and I've never read it." And we're like, "Why would you come to an all atheist panel live and tell atheists you know nothing about your Bible, but you're going to prove to us that Jesus was real?"
Well,
Yeah.
You've never looked at it.
Anecdotally, most atheists have read the Bible. Most Christians haven't.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it just became funny because he didn't even we started laughing, right? And he was like, "Well, I'm not quite sure why I haven't read the Bible." And we're like, "Well, have you ever thought that you need to read the book that you live by?" And he goes, "Oh, maybe I should." And I'm like, "Oh my God,
Oh.
where did he come from?"
Oh my goodness. Wow. I do not understand people sometimes.
I don't
No,
know.
because he couldn't
Well,
even
yeah, that's
answer the fundamental Christian questions. So
Yeah.
we were like, "So how are you going to prove?" And then this same guy went on to tell us that we would believe in Jesus if we saw this picture that was carved in a rock somewhere in Greece, but he was claiming that it was carved in a rock and where the Roman Empire was, where they crucified Jesus. And we were like, "Well, bring it up, show it up." And we brought it up on our computer, and it's a kid standing at the bottom of a crucifix, but it's this half man and half donkey. It's a historical picture, but we're like, "That's a donkey hanging on the cross. You're claiming that's Jesus?" And he was like, "Well, they said it was." And I'm like, "Okay, we cannot have a conversation with this guy."
No, yeah. No,
Like, are you trolling us or something?
No, he was dead
No,
serious.
there's a piece of graffiti,
Yes.
of Roman graffiti that they found that it's it says something like this person and their god, and it shows like a person with a donkey head getting crucified, and it's like the first depiction of quote unquote Jesus that we know of. Just because there was this whole thing about they worship a donkey or something like that, like the Romans said that about the Jews and Christians.
Right.
So it ended up being this just like weird.
But the picture was found in.
Yeah.
But the picture, underneath the picture was written in Greek, and the picture was from Greece.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
when
in
we asked the
Japan,
guy about it, he was like, "Well, I don't know where it was from, but I know that it's Jesus." And we're like, "Okay, good job."
in Japan, there was a mound surrounded by a picket fence,
Uh-huh.
and they say that is the final earthly resting place of Jesus.
Yeah,
That's possible.
Yeah, they say that after he was crucified and he rose, that then he went to Japan and he walked around teaching them there for a number of
That's what
years,
the Mormons said,
and then he
right?
died
The
again.
Mormons say.
I just can't.
But have you seen, Japan has a strange interpretation of Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, have you
What
seen
else
the
do they
things
do?
like hanging Santa Claus on a cross?
Oh, they do that instead of Jesus?
What?
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Seriously?
Look,
Oh
look,
my god.
check it online. You'll find, like, 100 pictures of
Gee.
Santa Claus hanging on a cross in Japan.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, that's like somehow they imported all of this from, this is what they got from the US soldiers after World War II. And this is their version of Christmas now.
Oh my god. We were talking about family tradition, and this isn't necessarily a tradition, but I have a thing about embarrassing my son with the story anytime I have a chance. It was right around Christmas time, and we lived here, and he was like 4 or 5. It was right after me and my ex-husband had split up. So he was, yeah, I think he was about 5 because I think he had started kindergarten at that time. But anyway, so our neighbor across the way was in the process of getting divorced, and his ex-wife was. Are you okay? Sorry, Daisy just sneezed really hard. You okay? And anyway, so they were in the process of getting divorced. His ex-wife was a complete, like she had some issues. And so he had asked us to keep an eye on the house if anybody had shown up or anything like that while he was at work. And especially because he's like, I don't want her breaking in and messing with the Christmas stuff and all that. And we're like, okay, cool. Well, at this point, like about a week before Christmas, people show up. We don't know who they are. We're just like, okay. And so I go outside to try and get close enough to get the license plate just in case it's her, because I don't know who these people are and what they're doing. And can't get over there without it being obvious what I'm doing. And my mom tries, she can't do it. And so we come up with the bright idea to send my son out there with a post-it note and a pencil and tell him, hey, go get the license plate. We're all standing there. Me, my mom, and my aunt are sitting there talking. And he comes back, and we didn't realize this. It was one of those temporary license plates, the paper ones. He comes back with that effing license plate. He ripped it off the car. And we're just like, oh my god, what are we?
Okay, how old was he?
He was like 5. I told him to get the license plate. I did not realize he would take me literally at this point. He was my first son. I didn't realize this.
Literally.
And he starts just bawling because we're all like, oh my god, what are we going to do here? And I had to reassure, I'm like, no, you did exactly what we asked. We didn't specify. And so
well, if he was more than 5, I was going to say that's when you found out he was autistic.
He did exactly what we said. And anyway, we got the bright idea to stick a Ziploc bag and duct tape it on the back. It lasted about 30 feet down the road before it just broke. And yeah, and anyway, they apparently did not know where the license plate went and didn't for many years until we finally ended up telling our neighbor what happened with that. But oh my god, that, and then the other family tradition that we had when my grandmother was alive. So my grandmother had 3 girls, 4 grandchildren, and all the grandchildren are about 10 years older than me. I'm about to be 41 on Sunday. Woohoo. But so what happened growing up is we would have about 12 people sitting around my grandmother's like decked out 70s home, and I mean with shag carpet and everything, but she had this huge like heavy dining table. Has anyone ever played spoons?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you have the number of people minus 1 number of spoons in the middle. So if you have 12 people, you have 11 spoons. You start out with a deck of cards, and you basically go through there and draw one at a time and pass the ones you don't want. First person who has 4 of a kind quietly reaches out and grabs a spoon, and then it's a free-for-all. There are 12 of us here. Okay? I'm about 10. We're playing Spoons one Christmas night, and I see my mom and one of my cousins leap over the table at each other to grab the same spoon. My aunt and my other cousin leap over the table at each other to grab the spoon, and the table breaks. Like, holy crap. Like, we've been talking about that in my family for the last 30 years or so. Yeah, it's just... I miss spoons, but we don't have a family big enough to play it now without...
Or a table.
Yeah. We have a table. I don't think it's going to support everybody if we do that. But yeah, it was my aunt who is like 5'1" versus my cousin who is like 6'4" and like was in the Navy at the time. So it was really funny. She won, by the way. She got the spoon. But yeah, it was crazy.
I was thinking of something totally different. I was not thinking of a card game at all.
Yeah, it's a card game, but yeah, it's so much fun. It's so simple, but oh my god, it gets yeah, my dad would always make sure, and I didn't realize this till later, but he would always make sure I got a spoon. He would.
Black. We play dominoes, dominoes, spades, and bid whisk.
Yeah, we used to play dominoes quite a bit too. I just want to let everybody know for the stream, I will post the link to Almost a Doctor when we are almost done. I could not get it to redirect on my channel because my channel is not monetized, so it wouldn't redirect, but I will post the link. The other easiest way to get to it would probably be to make sure that you're just on the playlist and it'll roll over. Purple has a playlist. I think Ryan Coldtastic has a playlist too. But if you're on the playlist, as soon as the stream ends, it'll kick you over there. So
that's what I've been doing all day.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I go to sleep, it's still playing the next video. It's in the background. Sometimes everybody loves.
Yeah.
If you give me a wrench, I can post the playlist link.
Yes. Oh, hang on. I gotta figure out how to do that.
Who is a lot more dangerous when the spoons are in another room?
I think I have to type something in the YouTube chat, and then you need to go to the 3 dots next to at the end of that line.
Yeah. There you go.
You use the power. I really so I don't know if you know Jazz, but Purple is the one that arranges the 48-hour stream for Christmas.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is
thank you for inviting me. Thank you guys.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, I always definitely What is wrong with the baby?
She's mad because she wants to sit up. She wants to sit up here with me, and there's not room. If you'll give me a minute, I will be right back. I'm going to clean off a spot for her, so she will hopefully shut up because she won't if I don't. So I will be right back.
And I always laugh when we're talking about family's traditions, right? Growing up, we were never allowed, from birth to whenever, we were not allowed to celebrate Christmas in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Wow. Our pastor held a Bible conference to where all the churches from around would come to our church to have like a 7-day, they called it Jubilee. So every year we would have the year of Jubilee. So this year they would have 2025, the year of Jubilee, and then every 7 years it would be a huge Jubilee, So we would serve all the ministers around the country, their choirs, their song leader people who would be invited, and we worked our butts off Christmas week for the church every day, 3 services a day.
Yeah, because every 7 years you had to free your slaves.
Exactly. but they interpreted it in the spiritual way. It's
Yeah.
hard for me to
Of
even talk
course,
like this. Is that
I get you.
any of
Yeah.
your huge sins would be forgiven every 7 years, and you would completely start over with a brand new,
Well, you
purity
were
with
also
God.
supposed to. Yeah, you were also supposed to forgive any money anybody owed you.
Yes, all debts
Oh
were
yeah.
paid. Foot washing and
You don't tell the good collectors that now, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Somehow
part kind of fell off. Yeah.
somehow I don't see the bankers, canceling all the mortgages on everybody's houses.
no,
Negative.
but
What's this he trying to do?
everybody in the
The
church
50-year
did.
mortgage now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The 50-year mortgage? That's
Okay. A 50-year mortgage is not buying a home. You're just renting a home, and they're hoping that you'll die before you pay it off.
right.
exactly. That's all
Right.
that is. But I'm like,
Yeah.
we don't even ever own a home because we still gotta pay tax and all this other stuff on there. That's not
Yeah.
owning. We never own anything
Right.
because everything
Especially in
you get,
Pretty
you have to
much.
Detroit.
pay
Yeah.
on it.
I never made enough money in my life to ever hope to own a home. I've just stuck renting an apartment the whole time.
And
Yeah,
now,
me
for
too.
most of us that are middle class, we are becoming generational homes again because nobody on their
Hmm.
own can independently afford what, $1,200 to $1,500 a month by
Yeah.
themselves.
Well, and it's
Yeah.
not just the
Plus
mortgage. It's you have to pay the
Yeah, you've
property
got
tax,
phone.
and you have to
Hmm.
utilities
have
and
the
stuff.
homeowner's
You,
insurance.
yep,
Yeah.
utilities. Then you have
Yeah.
internet. You have your cell phone. You have car insurance. Hopefully, health insurance. And I'm
That's
living.
just
I
renting.
say this because I'm living proof of this. I mean, it is extremely difficult to get anywhere once you get into a place where you have nothing. Very hard for a middle aged capable working dude. It's very hard grinding in this whole situation just to get back. So yeah, you're renting somewhere to die in, pretty much is what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
if you have single parents, my children are single parents, and they haven't received child support from their children in 2 years because friends of the court have it in escrow at the moment.
Uh,
But here you remove the food stamps, you remove any
Yep,
aids, you remove everything
Oh
from a
no.
single mom who is sole
Hmm.
responsible
exactly.
and the dad never sees them. I'm not, but for my
Yeah.
situation. And
Oh,
Here's
absolutely.
child
yeah.
support is in escrow, and they won't even give her the back child support because the dad says, oh no,
Mhm.
he wants her to sign off on the back, on the rearage, and my daughter won't sign off on the rearage. So he keeps filing complaints with friends of the court, to have it
I can't
reviewed
stand a
every time.
half-ass man.
Yeah.
And
Kim says hi.
what do you do with a single mom with
Thank
two
you.
kids? you
Yeah.
you
Well,
can't
that
afford
I always want
$1,500 a
her.
month.
that's a big reason why I was never able to save anything, was because I
Yeah.
helped raise 9 kids that their fathers just decided not to have anything to do with them anymore.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, at
My
most, a couple of them showed up like twice a year.
yeah.
Maybe.
Mine
And they don't have to get in trouble here until they're $10,000 behind.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you
my
what was really messed up with me. I'm going to finish. Sorry.
now I was just gonna say, like, my ex-husband, one, never paid me any child support, two, he never had any money to pay it.
Yep.
Mhm.
But I mean, I've never gotten a dime for my boys, which,
Mm-mm.
like, I got incredibly lucky with this house. This house was my grandmother's, and
Hmm.
she gave it to us. So that is the only reason that we live in a home that we own right now, is because my grandmother bought it when the prices were really good and gave it to us.
Yes.
But
Well, that was the
But
same thing with my ex, that the house we were living in, that her grandfather had actually built it.
yeah, stop.
So that was the only reason we had a house. But that wound up being 5 of us living in a little 550 square foot bungalow.
hmm
Hmm.
Yeah, that's how my mom, my grandma, they bought a bungalow, so my mom lives there now.
and here in Detroit, COVID, my daughter was able to afford everything, right? Because rent was like $600 a month for a two-bedroom flat. And when COVID ended, and she paid rent the whole time, when COVID ended, her landlord gave her 1 month to move. She was all up to date with everything, so she had to move. But then every 2-bedroom place went to $1,200 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You couldn't
Yep.
find anything.
That's how I moved in
Yeah. Same thing
with
happened
my
here. I've
daughter.
heard
The
that
same
from a bunch of
reason.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
rent was
I
like
mean,
$850. When I left, it was like 15.
I mean,
3-bedroom bungalow.
I mean, it's going to be one of the main reasons why I'm looking at my options on getting out of here is that once the house comes down to me and the other person that's going to get half the house, it's going to be a fight on whether we sell it or keep it because they don't have the money to pay me my half of it and I don't want to keep it. Like I would sell it. And it's just it's one of those things like I'm dreading that because I do not want to be stuck in a house with a person that I've got that big of an issue with that we're trying to solve.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
my
when
mom
you
living
when you
house
live with
to
your
my
kids and stuff
daughters.
again as they're adults, Kelly, you know this.
Oh, I
You have
do.
to relearn how
Both
to
of my kids are
live.
adults. Both of my kids are adults, and both of them are here. So
You have to
yeah,
relearn how to live. It's like, can I
yeah.
please
Yeah.
go to the bathroom without being interrupted?
Well, yeah, that's a. It was more me because I have moved when I got married this last time and I gave the boys Draven was about to be a senior in high school. My oldest was about to be a senior in high school. My youngest was a couple years younger than that. And it was like and I had talked to my parents about it and I was like, "Okay, do you want to stay here and finish school here?" Or do you want to move with me? My youngest chose to go with me. My oldest, who already had a car and already had all that, was like, I'd rather stay here. And so I gave them that choice. And I talked to my parents and said, what do we want to do? Because, especially growing up with them and me being a single mom and essentially me being an only child too, my parents helped me raise them. Like if they didn't help me raise them, there's no way I could have done it on my own. I couldn't have.
Yeah.
It was but basically because of the way that situation worked out, neither one of them's been without one of us around this whole time. So it was more me getting more used to the house being full than anyone else. So,
And
but yeah,
my kids are used to having busy lives and busy people and busy things around them. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
becomes
am such a
very
homebody.
noisy.
Yeah, my daughter lives in Miami and like the amount she pays like $1,500 for like a studio. Not even that big studio, it's a small studio.
Yeah.
Not even a great, it's an okay neighborhood for $1,500. It's crazy.
Yeah, I saw something where there's a house that it was damn near like falling apart and it was like over $1 million. I was just like, holy crap. Like those are my ex-brother-in-law moved out to California and his house costs like 2 million or something like that. I was like, holy crap. He's like, we can barely make the payments. Like barely. And he had a really good job. And he's like,
Yeah,
yeah, we can barely do it.
I have an uncle. It's an uncle. They stay in Novi. Novi is not too far, about 45 minutes from Detroit. And they had a government, they retired from a government, I don't know what they used to do, but they had a very high position in the government while they worked under Trump. Several different presidents, I'll say that. And they had to leave after they left like halfway through his first term. They said, I have to get out of here. But anyway, from that they end up having like this $1 million home built from the ground up. It's just house is beautiful. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, man, my house is not that worth that much.
Yeah, neither is
But
mine.
it's
Not a bad
beautiful.
house though.
No, it's
Oh,
gorgeous.
thank you.
It's one of
Yeah,
those
still,
stone brick bungalow homes, right?
well, it's more of
What is it
colonial.
called? Oh, colonial. Okay.
Colonial. Yeah, but it's still not enough. Still not big
Mm,
enough for us.
Like
I
if
need
you would
to.
put
So I
her
yeah.
need to
house
move.
out in the woods somewhere, it would look like the Hobbit's house with a point.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
You
they're
can
pretty nice
actually
homes over in my area though. That's
you
nice
can
middle
actually get
class area.
some of the good small 70s homes around here.
Hmm.
You know, at pretty reasonable prices.
Yeah, that's
I
what my
mean,
house was built like about the 1970s, late 60s, early 70s, I think.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
yeah.
but I mean
this
around
house.
here I've seen quite a few of them, you know, being
Mhm.
advertised for only like, you know, 250,000.
Yeah, this house was built in '94, I believe.
Oh, that's not
Well,
bad at all. That's
well,
that's a even new
my
house
grandmother lived
then.
in my grandmother lived in Irving, which is just kind of north of. It's kind of in between. Like Dallas is here, Fort Worth is here, Irving's right here.
Mhm.
And she
Okay.
lived right on the edge of DFW Airport. Well, they were
Okay.
expanding and were going to put in like some new runways and need space and stuff. And they actually offered her a really good price for her house. And so she sold her house, moved out here, paid cash, paid the whole thing down. And so, like, we got lucky that we got the house free and clear. We don't even have a mortgage. So that's that's something I am so thankful for right now. I mean, we still had to pay property tax crazy here, but
Crazy.
yeah,
Mhm.
Texas for some reason decided that how much property you or what property you own is a better indicator than what your income is. So even your property taxes on like dirt cheap like pieces of land and houses and stuff is still can still get a little absurd. But we don't pay state income tax.
Well, that's good.
And you
We
have
do here though.
spring and winter taxes. Because our whole reason for moving where we moved in Harper Woods,
Mm-hmm.
Kelly, was because if you lived on one side of 94, um, property taxes were like $3,500 to $4,000 twice a year because of the Grosse Point schools. But if you went over to the side of the highway that I'm on, property taxes were 1,500 spring and fall because you didn't go to Grosse Point Woods schools,
Yeah.
which is like a
Well,
high pollutant area.
yeah, but that's one of the really screwed up things actually is that, you know, schools are funded by property taxes,
Mm.
Yeah.
which means that low income neighborhoods are going to have crappy schools.
Hmm.
You know, they really should do a system like, you know, collect all the property taxes statewide and then distribute them evenly to every school just based on how many students they have enrolled.
And I
Uh,
think
But
I
the
might
funny
have
thing
talked
is, here
about
they have
this.
school choice. So even though if I had children, even though I live on the other side, right, they wouldn't have to go to the city that I live in. They could go to Grosse Point
Yeah.
schools. So crazy.
I'm gonna
Lil,
talk
you're
about it
muted.
one day. Oh,
You're muted.
who's muted me? Oh, they muted.
Sorry,
Okay.
I do it on Ember's stream. I do it on my own stream.
I do it too.
But here's something that you guys will know about schools, probably and mainly because you're in the atheist community. But we have it to where even though a judge straight up said, Texas, you cannot require the Ten Commandments to be in classrooms,
Yeah.
the Attorney General Kim Paxton, who is a horrid piece of work, and I actually got to call him a rat bastard to his face years ago, which I love that memory. It was at a, I kid you not, family wedding. I sat right behind him. And then I got to
Yeah.
call him a rat bastard to his face because I hate the guy. but uh he essentially told a ton of school districts, if you are not specifically listed in these lawsuits, you have to put it up. It is basically threatening them with like all sorts of crap if they don't do it. And unfortunately, a lot of the school districts are just like, well, yeah, why not? On top of all the horrific stuff that Texas is doing, like they're literally making a list of people who are trans. And
Yep.
it's like
I
everybody's being
heard
like,
that.
we don't know.
When you doing that
okay,
post that purple?
Yeah, I was reading about that. But
yeah,
basically, what
Kyle did a
Texas
story on
is
it.
doing, making up a list of everyone who has requested to have their gender marker changed on any official ID.
Mhm.
That is a damn shame.
Yeah, and I
And
mean,
they
it's
won't
one of
tell
those things.
you why they're
Obviously,
making this list.
yeah, but you can pretty much be guaranteed that it's not a good
Yeah.
reason because there's no reason to do that. And I know a couple people here who have been like, okay, it's time to get the hell out of the state, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
This is
yeah,
the same state
Because
that
well, what
this is the
comes
same
next?
state
I'm sorry.
that will
Go
pay
ahead.
you. Yeah, this is the same state that will pay you $10,000 for ratting out your neighbor for having an abortion.
yeah.
Mm.
Well,
They passed
sort of.
that.
It's how just FYI how it works is that person. If so, let's say that I help. Let's say that I help a friend procure an abortion, right? They're whoever is close to them who did not want them to get an abortion could sue me for $10,000. It basically it got around the Roe versus Wade originally by basically allowing private citizens to sue other citizens for that, and basically generated a fine for it without it basically generated a fine for it without the government themselves requiring the fine for it. It was California is doing the same thing, I think, with certain gun laws and stuff, but they're basically turning the whole thing around on Republicans because it's just like, oh God, it's a nightmare. I mean, people here, we've had the birth rate go up
Yeah.
substantially. My grandson's my was it my no, it was someone else, but I know somebody else who was pregnant, had to go had a miscarriage, had to wait, I think it was like 5 or 6 days to get it finally taken care of. Because and I can't blame the doctors here. The doctors here are scared because here, if you perform an abortion that the DA determines as not
Yeah.
necessary,
If the mother's life
99
was
years in
not
prison.
threatened. Yeah.
Yeah, 99. It's not just your license; it's literally your freedom that they're threatening. And I can't blame the doctors for being like, dude, like I'm not sure." And the thing is, they've refused to give any sort of guidance. They won't say,
Yeah.
"Well, what's life threatening, what's not." They're like, "Whoa, doctors need to figure it out."
Yeah. I am seriously scared for people I know in Texas and Florida.
So am I. Yeah, and I know people here who have already been harmed by these laws, and it's just like, I mean, what the hell are you
Yeah.
going to do?
I think of what that girl was. Girl,
I've
she
had to
was
take
from.
a I've had to take a harsh stand because I'm from South Florida and there are friends and people there that I grew up with, and yeah, I went and visited one in August and I stayed with her for like 18 days, and she completely, when I asked every question, she stands 100% with everything that's going on, including um, the uh, concentration camp that was put up.
Mm.
And I just looked at her. I'm like, I can't believe I have a friend that has no sense of empathy and humanity. And we're not friends right now. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what'll happen in the future, but I've had to say, I cannot stand with you when you okay all of this.
Mm-hmm. Where was that one? Because she was from one Senate representative in the state, and they had the anti-abortion law, but she had to have the procedure, so she approved it first. Then after she had the procedure, and then she changed the law to fit her narrative.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Looks like
Sorry,
Kelly
you're
froze.
going to say something?
Well, it just looks like Kelly froze.
Oh, I froze?
No?
Okay.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah. Now you're okay.
Okay.
Seth was going to say something at some point.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's not a stated reason of collecting this data, but I mean, how far are we from you can't fly? Realistically, how many steps away?
Realistically,
Yeah,
not far.
one. This is it, because then they just forward this data to, the
They,
airlines or whatever
Yeah.
that works,
yeah.
FAA, and then you don't
No,
fly.
they don't even have to do that.
How-
Just
how is it
TSA.
to happen overnight?
TSA,
Yeah,
bam,
exactly.
you're
Can't
banned.
get on.
Yeah. They just
Sorry.
put you on a TSA watch list, and they won't let you
Yeah.
get on a plane.
The thing is,
That's
and
where I think it's
Wow.
here's what. Yeah, I was going to say, here's
Unfortunately.
what worries me about the whole like radical left list they're making, because you can bet your ass with everything Kyle does and with as much as I help him that I'm going to end up on one of those lists. Period.
Yeah.
How long is it going to take to unfuck all that? Just the list, not everything else that's happened.
Yep.
Just the people who are on the TSA watch list who do not deserve. Like, you can't necessarily go on there and say everyone who was put on there during the Trump administration gets off, because there could very well be some people who legitimately should not be flying. But still, it's just like, how long is it going to take to undo all that? And then I actually had somebody in my family say, how long is it going to take to undo all the damage from the Trump administration? I'm like, good luck. We're not getting out of this one. Like, we're not. I mean, like, our alliances are absolutely fucked.
Yep.
Our economy is fucked for at least a decade, if not more. And that's if somebody gets into office that changes the economic policy drastically and gets us out of this. We're still screwed for at least a decade. Like,
God, it's
Well,
going to take years just for
unfortunately,
them to undo all the names on all the places that he's starting to put Trump. If you're a if you're a Democrat, Trump
Yeah.
Kennedy
Yeah.
Center is going to be Trump this, Trump that. It'll take a minute to do all of that as well. That doesn't even affect our policies and procedures and what is being written, like, quote and unquote, into law.
yeah.
well, and unfortunately, what Trump has demonstrated to every other country is that any agreement you make with the U.S. may not be valid after the next election.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which,
You know, so
I could
who's going
see-
to make any long-term
That's an
arrangements with
excellent
us?
point.
yeah.
Excellent.
Well, they
And-
said if you vote for him this time, you gotta vote for him again.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is regardless of what you thought of him in office, like, the Biden administration did work really hard to try and rebuild those alliances and those trade deals that we lost. And that we turn around and re-elect this guy, I do not blame every other country for saying, okay, fuck you guys, we're done. We're looking on how we can do this crap without you. And it's like, and somebody in my family who thankfully was a Trump supporter, I was like, this is what your father fought for in World War II and built afterwards, and all this stuff is, America being the superpower. Yes, we've done some horrible crap, and this is my argument appealing to them and what they think. I'm like, you guys watched us climb from kind of kind of on the scene, but kind of not, always constantly competing with England and Europe and stuff, to being one of the dominant superpowers. And in a year, this fucker has ruined it. We are never getting this back. We are done.
We're the laughing stock of the other countries.
Yeah.
The whole world.
Well,
the whole world.
The whole world.
Yeah.
I even
I'm
had
laughing
friends
at
in
us.
South Africa that said
Crying though,
that
but laughing
they were
too.
talking to me. They're like, listen, we understand that you were looked at as like a second world, third world country, but we are doing better than America.
Yeah.
There's a video out right now with South African mothers telling their children, obviously it's something to be funny about, right? But they're telling their kids after to eat all your food because there's children in America that are dying today.
Oh, I saw that video. That was funny to me.
Yeah.
It was an
I know
African
it's satire, but that's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's like, wow. But it's so true. It's like,
that was
what
funny
the hell?
though. I had to laugh at that video when I saw that video.
Because we used to do that.
Only you can say
Americans would be like,
Americans.
eat
For
everything.
$2 a month, you can feed an American.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of amaze me how we have just absolute, and I was completely expecting this, but like how we just completely fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
I mean, once January 20th hit, I mean, it was all downhill from there. And like you were talking about the concentration camp in Florida, Alligator Alcatraz, or I've heard it called Alligator Auschwitz too. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
Is, for anybody that doesn't know, I'm a historian. I specialize in the Holocaust. And I've had people say, is this actually a concentration camp? And I was like, yes. Like, it would absolutely, as my professional opinion, qualify. That's what they are doing. I mean, there was even a story that I saw a couple hours ago. There was a U.S. citizen that they deported. She lived in, she was born here, born in Maryland, moved to Mexico, lived there for like 13 years, and came back. They were told, do not deport her until we can sort this out, because they gave ICE like the birth certificate and immunization records and all of it's from Maryland. Yep. And they still deported her. She is a U.S. citizen. What? It's not deporting a U.S. citizen. What are you doing? Like kidnapping and exiling them?
Did you hear the recent interview with Elon Musk and Rogan?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh my God. He said that Democrats are going and picking up, I'm paraphrasing because he said a lot of stuff, that they're going and picking up the individuals from Mexico, bringing them here. This way, the Democrats know that they'll vote for them and they're allowed to vote. And the problem with California,
they've been saying that for years.
Yeah, and the problem with California and New York is that nobody has to show any identification. So anyone can vote, even if you're not a registered voter.
Yeah,
that's not
bullshit.
The way it works. But that's nothing new. They've literally been saying that shit for as long as I've been.
Yeah, I grew up listening to that. Yeah, believing that.
Yeah, it's absolutely nothing new.
I realize I've heard the rhetoric before, but because Rogan was interviewing Elon Musk and Elon Musk was just spewing this out of his mouth. But Rogan was sitting there like, yeah, that's the truth. What are they going to do? And he was like, well, they don't get vetted. No one gets vetted when they want to seek asylum or come to the United States. And I'm like,
bullshit.
Why are you allowing that type of misinformation? Because that feeds right into the thought process of those that are listening to them, and everybody that watched them that are of the Republican and strong MAGA descent says, oh yes, that is exactly what's happening.
Yeah, it's just,
to my shame, I was that guy to some extent, in the group that I left. Joe Rogan was the only podcast you listened to. Well, and Alex Jones, I guess, and some other extremists.
I
But
gotta.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hearing, talking about it and then looking at it from my perspective, being like brainwashed into that. Like it's a really easy way to spread a lot of really bad ideas really fast. Getting those two
Really
together
fast.
and putting it out there. Yeah.
And I completely
And they,
understand, because a lot of those
Yeah.
extreme churches, right, or high controlled religions, I say now that I realize I was raised Christian nationalist. And when I
Yeah.
went back and looked at that church, it was full. When my brother talked to me, and he only spoke with me for 2 hours in the 18 days that I was down there, but within those 2 hours, he informed me that his church goes on the principle that they are alpha males.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. That was. I just couldn't believe some of the things you
Yeah,
were saying.
that's
they
one of those
said.
statements that it's like, which of a half
Mhm.
dozen different ways do I approach how you're wrong?
yeah.
Right. I just
I
looked
mean,
at him and was like, so what are your women? Are they alpha women? And he's like, we are alpha males, and that how we believe. And I was like, I was hoping after 30 years you may have like improved a little bit on the evolution spectrum.
yeah. No, it's kind of the opinion that I have of Trump voters. 2016, to some extent, not everybody, but to some extent, I can forgive that because Hillary was not
Hmm.
the best candidate
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
I didn't vote for
2020,
Hillary.
2020,
I
I
didn't
have
vote for
a
Trump, but I didn't vote for Hillary.
I had
Yeah,
a
that's not how I wanted.
much
Bernie.
Bernie.
yeah. Yeah, I want to
Same
Bernie.
here. I wrote his
I
name
had
in.
yeah.
Well,
2020, I have a much harder time forgiving people for that because
Mm-hmm.
of course that was the year COVID hit. My dad died before election day. And the day he died is the day Mark Meadows came out and basically said, we're not even trying to control this anymore. Like, I seriously hold Trump and his rhetoric because the person who got my dad sick with COVID that eventually killed him went to work sick because they believed it was a hoax. They thought they had the flu and it was no big deal, and they got my dad sick and killed my dad. I hold Trump personally responsible for that. I do. Like, I'm sorry, but his rhetoric is exactly what led to that. But if you voted for him in 2024, like, I'm done with you.
Yes.
Like, I am absolutely done with you. There is no ands, ifs, or buts. I will never, ever give you a pass for that one. Ever.
Well,
Not even 2020
my ex
for
and his
most
wife
people.
are strong Trump supporters. And I don't understand because she's a doctor and many of her patients are elderly.
Mm-hmm.
So you get Medicaid. Most of your patients have Medicaid.
Because whenever I've asked Trump supporters, right, why they voted, and they've looked at me, they're like, voting is a personal experience and it is for my own funding, my own monies, what is going to benefit me. They're like, why? And, we were in a conversation and they were like, well, why did you vote? I'm like, for everybody else,
but here's
because
the
it doesn't
thing.
matter what's in my pit.
But here's the fucked up thing about it. They voted against their own self-interest.
Yep.
Exactly.
Every single
But they
time
didn't
the
know
Democrats have been in office, they've managed. I think the statistic I heard, and I'm sorry I don't remember exactly where I heard it, but it was earlier today, that 7 out of 8 of the last recessions were all under Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. They all started under Republicans.
Yep.
It's happened this time too. Like, it's just like, it's one of those things that the economy overall tends to do better under Democrats. There is somebody who I know who is a Democrat who will always vote Democrat because he says straight up, I make more money when the Democrats are in office.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, that's why I vote for him.
I voted Democrat all my life because, my parents were very involved in politics. And my father knew the only way he could afford to raise a large family was by having the benefits guaranteed by his union. So that's what I was brought up with, was that, the Democrats were the party of the working class.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I totally forgot I can do this. Huh.
But like
Yep.
it was like with me, I'm part of a union myself, and so when it came, it was Hillary and Bernie. I think it was them
There you go.
before the
Yeah.
election. So they was like, well, who do you guys want to put Democrat want to put up? So I was like Bernie.
Mhm.
Well, of course, I don't know. They voted to
Yeah.
put Hillary in. I
I
don't go
mean,
along with them.
I
So
mean, it's
usually,
something
if
that
that usually runs it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Democrats decided, screw it, we're not going to do our normal primary process. We're just going to
Yeah.
give you the candidate we want you to vote for.
and the way how I look
Yeah.
at it, even at this point, is, and I had this conversation with my mom, which, like, I told her, I said, look, if you can't vote for the Democrats, just don't vote. Seriously, like, just don't, because I don't want to have this animosity towards you. And because of that, she didn't vote. But it was one of those things that, even if, here's the thing, nobody can deny that if Harris got into office, things would absolutely not be as bad as they are now. We might have
Yeah.
gotten zero change. And at this point, with as dire as shit is, I would have rather had zero change than it fall off a damn cliff
Yeah.
like this. And simply because, and this is also why I have a problem with the people who are all like, no, let it burn down, blah, blah, blah. Dude, we're all gonna massively suffer in the meantime. And
Yeah.
I'm worried
Yeah.
about the people who can't afford food right now. I'm not worried at this, most people are worried about getting to next week alive at this point. I
Yeah, well,
don't give
then
a crap what the political system looks like 10 years in the future right now. I care about getting my family the next week.
yeah, that's
The
I
whole
keep having
system is
people saying,
corrupt.
that, yeah, it looks bad now, but the system will correct itself. And I keep asking them, yeah, but how many people have to die in the process?
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm
Or
not
how
That's what I
okay
about
with
was
that.
saying
this?
I'm
about
not
this
okay with
system.
sacrificing people
Exactly.
Right.
yeah.
Right. And
I'm
you're
not
making
okay
all
with
these rules again towards women, right? And younger
it.
women who now you've taken choices away from them, that nobody wants to
Yep.
have to make that choice whenever they find out that they're expecting a baby. I've never met one woman that has been like, yay, this is what I went and did today. Let's go have a party. But
Yeah.
you're not doing anything to the system to make deadbeat dads step up to the plate
They're not doing
and
anything to help with
help.
health. Yeah, they're not doing anything to help
Nothing.
with health insurance. They're not, and keep in mind,
Food,
at this point,
shelter.
this is here's one of the most insidious damn things about what RFK is doing with changing the vaccination schedule. If the vaccine is not recommended by the CDC, insurance does not have to cover it.
And how do you afford
So
Wow.
those
there's
shots?
tons of people out there who want these vaccines and can't fucking afford them.
Yep.
Right.
And
They
they're
talk
not
about
going to be able to
measles
get
is
them.
coming back. Like, what the
Oh,
Everybody,
yeah.
heck?
I have been
There was
asked,
a big outbreak of measles in New York
yeah,
already.
I've been
Yeah,
asked
that's crazy.
100 times who I think the worst person in the cabinet is. And it absolutely is RFK. The only reason
Yes.
I place Trump higher than this is because Trump, buck stops here, all that. But RFK is going to have millions as his body count when all is said and done.
Yep.
Because you take not only that, but you take all the research and all that shit that he has stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, he killed vaccination research. We are not getting that research back. Like, it's going to take, you can't just stop research and then like take it back up, especially when you're like in the middle of trials and crap like that. You have to start over. And it's just like, I mean, he set the entire thing back. One, it's guaranteeing that America is not going to have the patents for it, that we're not going to have the companies that develop this stuff. Europe probably is. And then you're also guaranteeing that basically we're not going to be at the like, we're done being at the forefront of science. We're done being at the forefront of everything. We are absolutely
Yep.
freaking done. We're done.
Right. We will not, by the time this is all done, depending on how many years it takes us to recoup, if we ever can, we are going to
Mhm.
have to be, we're going to be
I don't think we
struggling
will in
back
my
up that
lifetime.
ladder, trying to be a first world country in a lot of our areas of research.
Yeah.
Oh, for us to ever get back to where we were, will take our government being consistent for decades.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
But
like,
you know, they love Robert F. Kennedy though. You know, I've looked at
He's
them and
sunburnt.
friends of mine
He look burnt.
who have children that are disabled and stuff, and they
yeah.
still say he's doing what's best for everybody. And I'm like, you don't even have a brain cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sound like,
You just
Yeah. Well, you were saying
what the
about the
hell?
vaccines, and it's like my clinic just can't even get the vaccines.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know.
There was with my youngest, I think it was my youngest son, there was a shortage right around the time that he went to school. And it was hell for us to try and get the paperwork to prove we are getting them, we are in line. As soon as the doctor's office gets them, we're going, so he
Yeah.
could go to school. And this was
Yeah.
not us delaying it. It was just the doctor's office did not have them in because there was a shortage. I don't remember exactly what happened.
Oh
I think it
yeah.
was
Well, I
2010,
was school in the 90s,
2011.
and
There
that
was
sometimes
a
happened
shortage
with
of
them.
something.
Or you had
And
to
it
go to another
wasn't
clinic
even
or
his main,
something.
yeah, it wasn't even the main vaccines. It was like a booster that that was on back order, and it took us about 3 days right before school started, panicking trying to get all this paperwork together that shows like we're not anti-vaxxers, we are getting them vaccine. It's just doctor's office doesn't have it right now. It was just like,
I wonder what they're going to do about
I
the
know Bree was
paperwork and stuff
talking
you have to
about
do
that.
for anti-vaxxers.
they're
Well,
just not going to require it. They're probably
Yeah.
going to say that it's not required.
Because we're religion.
Yep.
Right, because
You were
my
saying about
No,
the,
not even that.
Oh.
Just you don't have to have you
have it.
basically ordering it to where like schools and stuff don't have to have vaccine
I don't want that with my
recommendation.
kids.
Because in Michigan, my son, when he was in school, he was born without IgG immune deficiencies, subclass 2 and 4,
Mhm.
could have no live shots and no vaccines for the
oh,
chance of it being alive. He would get artificial antibodies from like plasma 2 to 3 times a month. And whenever you go to school, you have to fill out this form. You're an anti-vaxxer basically for medical reasons, but then you have to
Mhm.
take a class every year. You have to take this like
Yeah.
video class every year to educate you on what the
Mhm.
risks are of that you're taking. So
Yeah.
So
I was
how did
wondering what
you
And
that
know
process
that
is going to be.
so
this is why
how did you know about him? Did he
Um,
have a shot first? He found out that he got sick or something?
well, he got spinal meningitis 6 times, and he lived in the hospital for the first two and a
oh
half
my
Oh.
years.
god.
Oh,
And
that,
we
oh, wow.
so
I'm
we
ready to
didn't
go.
know what was
Wow.
going on. We knew something was happening,
Mhm.
right? Because so we
Yeah.
gave him his baby shots. He cried every day for 7 days. We took him to the doctors. He got spinal
Oh my
meningitis,
god.
and it was the one that the whole family had to go on, and CDC came to our house and sealed our house, and we weren't
oh,
allowed to leave for 7 days. I think it's called the
Oh,
Rogram shot. It turns your sweat and your everything in you to orange. Um, so
Mhm.
everybody that'd been in contact, so
Wow.
they sent me to the University of Gainesville, and they started to do immunology testing on him. So he had to go be admitted into the hospital to be in one of those safe rooms where there's no germs
Mhm.
and everybody was in white gowns. So
yeah.
they tested his blood, they gave him all his baby shots, and then they tested his blood, and there was no antibodies in his system.
Wow.
Oh,
oh.
So that led to them
Wow.
knowing
That's
that
awful.
this child has an immune
Yeah.
system issue, thus,
And yeah.
starting the plasma twice a month for 6
Yeah.
hours a
And
day.
this is why it's so damn important for the rest of us, everybody who can get a freaking vaccination
Hmm.
does it.
yeah.
Because it's that important. It's that you have to protect the people around you. For instance, like measles, you have to have like 100 million people that are vaccinated for it to not be spreading, because it jumps like mad.
Mm-hmm.
My dad got mumps when he was in college. That's why I'm adopted. Like it's I got chickenpox, and I got chickenpox so bad. But because of that, I am at severe risk of shingles right now,
Mm-hmm.
because I had chickenpox, and it's like my
And they said
kids
shingles
didn't
is
have.
worse.
Yeah, and oh, trust me, I know, but like I don't have insurance, and like the vaccine is really freaking expensive for me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like,
So
I
with
had
my
them
other two
measles as a
children,
baby.
yeah, I would have to make sure that my other kids were completely vaccinated and as healthy as they could be. But when they got their vaccinations, I had to have my son, my infant child, go somewhere else. And then when my children got chickenpox, he was admitted into the hospital, into one of the, the isolation rooms, and maintained and monitored until the chickenpox had passed in our home. It was a nightmare medically with that child.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I was going to say we only have about 10 minutes left. So, Kelly, where can we find you, and what are you doing?
where can you find me? I don't know. I'm at home right now, though.
Ask
If
me,
you know
I
where I
can
live,
tell
you
you
can
where
come
to
find me at
find her.
home. You can find me at my house. But online, I'm Detroit Atheist Queen. So you can find me on YouTube with that. I'm also on various channels such as the Java and Jugs. Sometimes I'm in Ember's channel, Better Than Ember, Hot Topics. Sometimes on Black Non-Believers channel, In the Cut. Basically, anywhere else somebody wants me to be, I'll be there.
Seth?
You're muted.
Take two. It's only 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry. No,
And you
I'm
made it the whole
ambushed.
time.
I did, and I worked all night, and I got to work tomorrow. But you know what? I wouldn't trade this. So I appreciate y'all having me. Number one, I'm ambushed apostate on YouTube. I'm actually just getting back into doing some content. I have had a horrible year where I've gone through homelessness and not being able to find good work and all this other stuff, family stuff. So it's been a rough year. That looks like we have a pretty good outlook for the next year. So stay tuned, but there's not a lot going on at the moment. I've got some stuff to get a place coming up here in January, so things are moving. So I will be around.
Purple?
Well, I've been up for the last 44 hours straight, and we've got 25 hours left to go.
Woo!
Round of
Yeah,
I mean,
we love you,
seriously, Purple,
We
the
love
real
you,
MVP.
Purple.
So I'd better catch
Yes.
a nap here
Amazing.
somewhere, because I know from experience that around 60 hours without sleep, I start hallucinating.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
that is a thing.
maybe.
Jezebel, what's up?
And I'm Jezebel. I'm Jezebel on all platforms of social media. I do have a YouTube channel. I have 18 followers. We're trying to get it to the 50 where I can start going live on YouTube. So it's at Feral Atheist. And then I also am a part of a podcast. It's called The Awakening, where we take people who have started their deconstruction journey, whether it's completely out of Christianity or wherever that journey takes you. And we talk about the harms that high controlled religions, indoctrination, and religion causes. And you can find us on all podcast platforms, and definitely check out our podcast. And would love to have you as a part of that podcast. If you know that you would like to speak out and have a voice on what indoctrination or what religion has the harm that it has caused you, look for us on the Awakening podcast. So thank you so much for having me. Much love.
Wait, what did you say your channel was?
It's
I
called
put
The
it in the chat.
Awakening.
Oh,
Yeah, okay. There's The Awakening.
The Awakening
and,
is
Feral Atheist.
the podcast. Yeah.
Is the podcast.
If you guys will send me your links, or if Kelly, if you know, bleh.
Oh, no.
I will
I
post
can do
the
that.
links to their channels in the description of this video after we're done here. Me, I'm Lilith of All Trades. Yeah, you guys are here. You guys know me. I
No,
was
this can't be
crafting.
her.
Okay, following the Feral Atheist link you put in the side chat,
It's
I
some
see
animals.
some videos of a dog with a wheelchair.
Okay, so
Oh, okay.
Is that the right channel?
no, because
No,
it
that's
I
no,
is
that's
don't
not
think
the
like
so.
channel.
the Awakening podcast. I'm on
Okay,
YouTube as Jezebel, but my
let
email
me
is
delete
Feral
that.
Atheist.
Ah, okay.
So I am
Okay,
on all
Yes.
Okay.
channels as Jezebel. That is
okay,
what I'm on. Okay, my
all right.
apologies. I'm
Oh,
just
okay,
learning some of
okay.
this
Sorry.
No,
stuff.
it's late for everybody. No worries.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
4 a.m. here. I've got
I don't
another
know how I'm gonna
show
do
in
it.
4 hours.
I know,
So
right?
it's like I've
Yeah,
been
then I
trying.
have to go to the which is an atheist little thing. Where you gonna still try to come if you can?
If I can, but I won't know if there's a vehicle available for me.
Oh, I
So I
got you.
can't
Yeah,
drive
that
my
makes
car.
sense.
Not
Yeah,
that
What
far. I have to get my
Yeah.
car fixed.
what is that?
yeah.
I got into a car
Um.
accident in October, and one of the things
Oh no.
that when you're going through
Oh,
a breakup, I didn't know that he
yeah.
had canceled my collision.
Oh, but what
Oh,
is the gathering that you were talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, the Michigan atheist.
Michigan Atheist Christmas
Yeah, a
gathering.
little Yuletide dinner thing
So every year
over
we go
sushi.
to a movie theater, we watch whatever movie we want to watch, and then we join everybody over at a certain time at the all you can eat Chinese buffet bar.
ooh-wee.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I was crafting earlier. I have another camera sitting on my desk, and that camera did not want to work, so you couldn't really see what I was doing. And then Kip started whining, and she is now right here.
If
Aww.
So yeah, that's her. This is like her
Well, we
spot.
didn't talk about much Christmas stuff. A little bit of
No,
Christmas,
we
but
didn't.
yeah,
mostly.
But you know
We
what?
did.
But it was a good conversation, though.
Yeah,
Good
like this.
conversation.
This is what I love about this community and this group of people. You can get a group of us on a stream, not have really any plans, and fill the entire 2 hours with a really engaging
Yes.
conversation.
Yes.
We
well that
will also be here tomorrow night at the same time.
Same
Woohoo!
time.
yeah,
So you guys
well
can
We
that's
come
are
my
back
excited.
and join me.
We
that's
are
Then
my
after
very
that,
entire
it'll be
weekly
Purple's
chat.
time.
Think of some
You know,
topics. You can throw them in the chat.
that's
yeah.
what
Yeah.
my entire weekly chat. As I say, most of the shows like you interview someone and then you have an after party. Well,
Hmm.
scheduling a guest is
Yeah.
too much hassle, so I just skip the interview part.
I'm gonna try to do the
Fair
after
strategy.
party because I do have to work on tomorrow,
Mhm.
the 26th. Well, tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, the Lord. Yeah, so we got 30 minutes. Yeah, by the way,
It's been
for
great.
anyone who does not know, I named my dog after Dr. Kip. And it has caused
Oh,
no
I
end
thought
of
that. I
confusion.
thought you already
I
had named her
No, I
before
did.
that.
No, I
Okay.
named her after Dr. Kip.
oh
I
no.
asked him.
Oh,
I
I
think
thought.
it was on a Myth Vision stream before the whole Bob Price gate went down. Um, if he would be honored or offended if I named my dog Kip, and he said that he would be honored, so I did. And then
Oh
I
wow! I
got
thought you
on
named
YouTube.
her.
Ah,
her-
I was not expecting. I was not expecting my channel to blow up like it has. I was not expecting to be on Java and Jugs. I wasn't
Judge
expecting
either.
any of that, and then just
Oh,
bam.
and it's
And
really sad how I got on Java and Jug. That's the sad part about it. But
there's a
neither here
clip
nor
of me
there.
somewhere out there saying it was one of the first, actually I think it was the first day that I was on Ember's channel, and I said something about Dr. Kip eating sticks, and I was talking about my dog.
No.
well, see That's what happens to intelligent women in this community.
I was confused by
That was
it
funny,
tonight, if I'm
Purple.
being honest.
Yeah, no, my dog. If
Yeah,
you go
no.
back and watch the intro, the big black dog, she's a big black lab Newfie mix. I named her Kip. And at Dr.
Okay.
Kip's request, named her Dr. Kip. So now we have human-shaped Kip and dog-shaped Kip. Depending on who you're talking about. But anything else from anybody before we kick it over to Almost a Doctor?
Oh,
Love y'all, mean it. Appreciate you having me on.
Yes,
Alrighty.
and
see
thank you
y'all
guys for
tomorrow.
inviting me and
Love you
allowing me
Y'all
guys.
to come
two
on. I
on
appreciate
tomorrow
it.
with me.
Thank you.
Jazz and Seth, you demanded.
I'll be back.
The
I'll be
link
back.
is pinned in the description, or follow the playlist. I cannot redirect from my channel because it's not monetized, but there you go. Go over to Almost a Doctor 1 at Almost a Doctor 1 for their stream. All right. Bye.
Much love, everybody. Much love.
Yep, I'll
Bye.
just put the
Thank you for
link out
tuning
there
in.
one more time.